We're not even live yet. You can't laugh yet. I was listing off all of my favorite sci-fi books that I'd read recently, and David Brin, my friend on Facebook, gave me shit for not including him, which was good. It was fun. Anyway, so it's the first day of the next goddamn year.
Yes.
It's 2021.
It is 2021.
Hashtag coffee. Fred is like in like wildfire. Good morning, Fred.
Morning, Fred. Nice to see you.
We'll do gratitudes in a minute. We're just gonna talk until somebody laughs, and then that's when we drop the music. So
Yeah. That I was just remembering. I forgot. I would have listed that among my favorite things that happened in 2020. Is Corey said, "All right, here's a bunch of my favorite sci-fi authors," and he forgot the one that he's actually friends with on Facebook.
Laughing achieved.
And
So yeah, I'm sorry that I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, that's all right. No, I think it was really funny that he actually called you out for not mentioning him. I thought that was
yes, it was very funny.
No more signed first editions for you, buddy.
Damn it! On top of the no signed first editions that I got before, that's probably what I should have said. Like, hey,
I'm not sure I've actually read any David Brin. What should I start with?
The Uplift series. Pun intended. Yeah, no, I think that's actually what it's called.
Oh, the Culture series is Ian Banks.
It is.
Uplift. Okay.
Because like basically, human beings start uplifting species. They increase, the intelligence of apes. They increase the intelligence of dolphins. So they basically have these species that are now like hanging out in like human level intelligence or whatever. And that's when they find out they're actually nested within a galactic empire where species do that. They uplift other species. That's the only way anyone knows. Like no species ever actually evolve on their own, right? And so human beings are like immediately outcast because they don't have a client species, like a master species. Because when you get uplifted, you're servants for 200,000 years. And so humans are basically just like, and you're the prestige of having client species is immense, right? And we've already got 2 and we're working on another one. And so we walk onto the galactic empire and we're basically like, what? We're awesome. And they have like millions of planets and they're like, no, you're not awesome. And then insanity ensues. They're all good. I think it's like 5 or 6 of them and every single one of them is fantastic.
Time for me to talk to Joni.
They're super good.
Yeah. Okay. I will get on that. I've been blowing through books, man. I mean, just even rereading some stuff. Just because I like to do that. Yeah, Jareen, I saw your pictures. Jareen got some snow this morning. Really cool. Really cool. See, it's cool because
it's snow. Yeah. Start with gratitudes. Fred said I have a fantastic gratitude for today. I'm grateful that Sue Fletcher Gentry and Jareen Elkins brought on the new year with a few of our friends and me with a live performance of the Holiday Mouse. Best New Year's I've ever had. That's pretty good.
That's significant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you want to tell us what you're grateful for this morning, of course, we always welcome that, and we'll acknowledge your gratitudes.
You know what I'm grateful for?
What?
If you go to the uplift.world, there's actually a website. Actually,
okay.
I'm gonna show you because it's sort of astounding. Actually, the little one that I'm gonna say, I'm grateful that I got the map to work again on Minecraft. I was very sad about that.
So was I. So I'm also glad you got it working.
I broke it. Super lame. So yeah, if you go to the uplift.world, this is what you get. Because we're, we built
nice.
the burn button and our plan to build a school in Haiti for 2021, which is kind of fun. And then you're like, oh, hey, let's go. And you can read oh, this is what they're doing. Blah, blah, blah stuff.
Nice.
Things. Cool. And then you press the button. And it takes you to the actual.
Up to? Couple $100 maybe?
Couple hundred times
what?
10.
What? That's amazing, man. $2,500.
Right? What the fuck?
And so half of that money will go to the charity, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Half the money is going to the charity. 25% goes to Uplift because that's how we always do it. But here's the thing: 25% is going to everyone who built it. So, like, you guys are gonna have to decide what you want to do with that. Next week when we figure it out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we just are going to get paid for playing Minecraft?
I've been trying to fucking say that for weeks.
People are not believing me. They're like, my mom is like, what? She doesn't even. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, all I gotta say is go to beta.alienworlds.io. Play Alien Worlds. That game sold $500,000 worth of NFTs in 2 weeks.
Nice.
It is 1% as cool as what we are proposing. Just saying. And people bought land early on, sold it for 10 times as much within a week. Like just nice. people doing
Diane
stuff.
Cash out there
it's very
out there on the edge of the Yosemite Valley in California. I'm grateful. I got my stimulus today. I was so broke for my trip for my brother. Yeah, I'm sure that was not an easy or cheap thing. So I'm really grateful. Good for you, Diane. And I know others. I think Ginny, several people have mentioned they've gotten theirs. Mine still not in, but that's okay. I'm okay today.
I'm not a real person, so I'm not going to get anything. What's really sad is I'm not actually Canadian either, so I didn't get the $2,000 a month.
Oh, you living away from home? You don't get it?
No, I mean I haven't filed my taxes in Canada in like a decade. Yeah,
that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Yeah, Corey Elko, thank you, man. That's very sweet of you. Grateful for Greg and Corey and this community. I never use that as my gratitude. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Indeed.
Sometimes a lot, maybe not recently, but we have a lot of days woken up and gone, why the fuck are we even doing this? And your gratitude helps. That's what we keep remembering.
It really does. It's funny. I remember the conversation we were having about whether we should keep doing church a few months ago. And
turns out
there's a non-zero probability that will be the biggest project it's the biggest project I've ever undertaken. We'll see if it actually works.
Bob Benson. Gratitude, friends, love, and what we do to make all of our lives better. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Greg.
Stuff.
Okay. I know we have lots to talk about today. Two things like around the New Year's thing. Sorry, Donna. Very grateful for the live fireworks show from our neighborhood. Nice.
They put it on just for us. We're aware that all of our neighbors got together and blew stuff up all night just for
you.
And we actually really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people are down on fireworks. No, there were some nice big shells going off in our neighborhood last night, and we sat out and watched them for about an hour and a half. It was cool as hell.
Cool beans.
So, yeah.
This Burning Man auction thing's working, obviously. Sue, I thought I was going to raise a few $100, like maybe 500. Like, yay, not fucking 2,500. And it's not.
And there's still a day left. There still goes to like this time tomorrow, right?
There's a possibility that it could get a little bit better, which is fun. So anyway, Sue had the idea of inviting people to write down, we do gratitudes all the time. That's awesome. 2020 was a challenging effing year, right? So between that and just wanting to maybe get some just clearing out of the mental cobwebs or whatever, she suggested we invite people to write down one thought or habit that they want to get rid of. We write that down on a sign. We put that on a big, huge pile of blocks of wood, and we burn that and just literally burn it to the ground so there's nothing left. And so I was thinking, like, maybe we could make like a big, just 2020, just big blocks of numbers or whatever. Invite people to come in and put signs on it or whatever. Maybe for a little donation, and then maybe just do it again. We'll make this as another uplift art installation and. Auction off the ignition button and do that. So that, I think is an idea I'd love to play with. If there's a lot of interest for it, I think we should do it. And then there was one more thought that I had that I can't remember now. It's too many words.
Yeah. All right. So, I don't know what the legality of fireworks is. I haven't had any money to mess with that stuff in so long that I don't even know anymore. But, I'm pretty sure people spent a lot of fucking money in my neighborhood last night.
Legit.
So,
Yeah, we went to bed early, but like it was all just booms and fireworks and stuff.
It woke us back up. Mishi passed out and stayed passed out, but Don and I both like 11:30 or so when things started, crescendoing. We both woke up and sat up back and watched all that. Yeah, I have a lot of empathy for folks that have pets or have PTSD issues with loud reports. I get it. It was just comfortable for us last night. Oh, so yeah, it was nice.
Mr. 10 Killer Hayes, Happy New Year, buddy.
Hey, bud. Let's see. Okay, so we got some things to talk about.
Yes.
You want to go first?
No.
Here's the weirdest thing that happened in late 2021, among all the other weird things. The lawsuit that Louis Gohmert, asshole, Texas, filed to try and give Vice President Pence more power to overturn the election.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pence filed papers with the court yesterday to say, no, thanks, I don't want that.
I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, he actually asked the judge to throw that lawsuit out.
Right? Mother says no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty big deal.
Gohmert's suit contends that the rules Congress has followed for more than a century are unconstitutional because they override the vice president's power to unilaterally decide which electoral votes count. Trump allies have urged Pence to assert control and refuse to introduce Biden's electors in key states that handed him the presidency. Pence, in a 14-page filing brought by the Justice Department attorney, said the suit shouldn't be aimed at him since he is who Gohmert is trying to empower.
Crazy pants.
Yeah. Yeah, Sue, same thing with my mom. All the spots were gone in 8 minutes in Pasco County. So, not cool.
Excuse me.
Greg and Donna will get a front row seat to the extra money of the Alice folks. I don't know. I'm not following Ginny. Way too smart for me this morning. Did you post up, Red, that the scientists have learned that? Okay, I thought it was cool when I learned that octopuses apparently sometimes punch fish just out of spite.
Yeah.
But they can edit their own RNA.
Huh?
Yeah, I would love to see a link to that, Ginny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mother said it wasn't a very good idea for him to have that power.
Yeah.
It's probably accurate. Yeah.
Makes him too feisty in the bedroom.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. We know it's all bullshit, TK. Nope, yep. But it's also erosive, corrosive, and destructive to democracy bullshit. So that's not good. Because now what's going to happen every time Republicans don't like who won an election, they're going to do this bullshit and try and undermine the process. That's great. That's excellent. Yeah. Yes, octopus are that awesome. I would love it, Jeannie, if you had a link to that, because I want to read that story. Learning that they punch fish for fun and just to spite them is my favorite thing since learning that dolphins, this is a true story. In the past 10 years, we've come up with some ways that you tag dolphins, but you put a collar around their tail flukes that has a camera attached. And eventually, the wire that connects, it's made of zinc, and the wire melts through and the thing detaches so it doesn't harm the dolphins. But they've been able to film dolphins in real time doing what they do when they're away from human eyes. Mm-hmm. And one of the things they do is they pick up puffer fish off the bottom and they squeeze, they gently chew on them, not to kill them.
To get high
and throw them to other dolphins. And so they basically puffer pass. Which I think is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
It's a social thing. They're getting high, it basically in a safety meeting circle. Which, yeah, uplift indeed. That's why I like octopus so much. I too punch for spite. Oh, you guys are awesome. Yeah, I just tell that whole dolphin story just to make the puffer pass joke. So one of my best moments. What'd you make? Jareen, grateful I cooked last night. I'm either awesome at it or I flat out can't even do it. Homemade chicken parmesan. Nice. Leftovers for today. Nice. I made paella for the first time ever last night. And reports are that it was pretty fucking good. Do you know what paella is, Corey?
I do not.
It's a Spanish seafood rice dish where you basically make arborio rice, which you use for risotto, with shrimp and chicken and sausage and peppers and like a big baked seafood thing with mussels and shrimp. It was really good. Really good stuff. So yeah. Greg Cummings, good morning. Happy New Year. Nice to see you.
Oh,
I want to get high with dolphins. I agree.
Right? That'd be pretty fun. So yeah, speaking of aspirational things, so the whole idea is like, you know, the fire thing, you know, we get rid of 2020 and kind of put it to bed, cool, put it behind us.
Right.
Do a big in-game event, that kind of thing. Yeah, sorry, distracted again. Donna just said you're an awesome cook. I had some of Greg's bread once, and basically every other bread after that was like, I guess.
Calm down. It's simple. That's a simple recipe.
I don't care. It's crack.
You think it might be because you had been fasting for several days and not eating any carbs? That
maybe,
bread was
but
that good?
I don't know that I've ever had homemade bread before. Like, I still think, like, comparatively speaking, it's still like.
Okay.
Anyway, so on the show, here we all are. We did the gratitudes. You know, what's one thing you would love to see happen this year? Like, just like, holy shit, that happened
in 2021.
In the comments, I would love to hear yours. Yeah, like what's the one thing that if it happened, you'd be like, fuck, that's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I think $2,000 a month for every American until the economic crisis related to the pandemic is over.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be really good.
I like unicorn also.
Well, you didn't ask for realistic things.
I didn't. I should have.
What
mean, about one? What about
UBI? Donna Van Meter, UBI.
Yeah. Okay. Let me change this because again, these are all things that are deeply out of our control. What is one thing that
you're losing though? Because now we're up to 3 for UBI.
I know. Hey, no, I get it. No, I phrased the question in a way that I mean, I would love that too. Don't get me wrong. Like that, like something that, and I did. The way I phrased it was like, what magical on high could drop down? UBI would be fucking fantastic. That'd be really good. What is something you would like to accomplish this year? Let me rephrase it because
I would like to take a can of Twisted Tea and smack Mitch McConnell upside the head with it. Probably also not realistic, but
speaking of which, they said actual aliens. That'd be good. We actually have a story about that.
Yeah,
maybe, possibly, sort of. Interestingly, yeah, everybody was more or less the same thing. Like, we'd just rather not have to worry about money anymore, and I get it because I'm spending.
I have one. I have one. I would like for us to collectively, this would require a group effort to paddle this canoe. I would like us to collectively forget Donald Trump's name. Just to stop mentioning him. Once he's January 21st, January 20th at 12:01 p.m., we just make it our business not to pay any fucking attention to what that jackass does ever again. And I know that's not going to happen because we're going to want to ridicule and compare, and that would be a difficult thing. But
I am so in though. Like I don't even know if it's gonna be hard for me. I'm so fucking over it. Like,
did you hear what Donald Trump said today? I'm sorry, who?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, quit calling it 2021 WON, Virginia Rupert.
Why?
We survived.
We survived
2021. We survived 2020. 2020 didn't win.
I mean,
we fucking won.
We did. We won. Damn it. Yeah, it's it's tough, right? Like obviously there was a lot of challenges for the year.
Right.
But I mean, you know, screaming into the end of it, I'm just selfishly, personally, sitting on easily the most intense opportunity of my entire life. You know, on a couple of different vectors, right? And that the most ridiculous, but I think for me, most loved thing that we were doing, the gratitude ceremonies, are going to be at the center of something truly massive. I mean, that for me, That's pretty good. I made more money in music last year than I made in the year before, in a year where I couldn't do any gigs.
Is that true?
It is.
How did you do that?
The I'm Not the Bubble Drop raised some because again, like 50% of that goes to charity. 25% goes to the artist. We raised $30,000 for charity.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, the art installations, I'm working now directly with Uplift. Anytime anyone wants to raise money for charity, we can, run it through like as an Uplift art installation, mint some NFTs, do an auction like that. It's not just going to be for Uplift. Like we're trying to work to the point where we can get that to work for literally anybody, for any charity.
Okay, man. It's almost like the whole Triple Flying Circus thing come to life.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's cool. I just love that it's like I felt like we were kind of isolated in that idea when we had it, but it turns out there's other people that were thinking about a lot of the same things. The same kind of mechanisms that could do good in the real world.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys want to hear about octopi RNA?
Octopus RNA, because it's not a Latin word. So
I think you told me that before too, and I just don't give a shit. So they have 3 hearts, parrot-like beaks, venomous bites, and 8 semi-autonomous arms. The semi-autonomous arms always gets me because they really do have their own kind of brains.
Distributed brains, yes.
Yeah, and melted to the world by changing both color and texture. They're incredibly intelligent, capable of wielding tools, solving problems, and sabotaging equipment. There's links to all these, by the way. Let me drop this in the thing. Their genes are also really weird. A team of scientists led by some
because they have 8 legs.
Well, sure. Ha ha ha.
GENES genes. Okay, never mind. I got that. Go on.
They practice a type of genetic alteration called RNA editing. It's very rare in the rest of the animal kingdom. They use it to fine-tune the information encoded by their genes without altering the genes themselves. And they do so extensively to a far greater degree than any other animal group. They presented this work at a conference, blah, 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 blah. I study RNA editing in mice and humans where it's very restricted. The situation is very different. RNA editing is especially rife in the neurons of cephalopods. They use it to recode genes that are important for their nervous system, the genes that, as Rosenthal says, make a nerve cell a nerve cell. And all the intelligent colloid cephalopods, octopuses, squid, and cuttlefish do so. What does this mean?
I'm thinking, we wonder how they can be so smart with such a short lifespan.
Right, this is what it says.
It would seem like this would explain that.
Right, it's impossible to say if their prolific use of RNA editing is responsible for their alien intellect, but that would definitely be my guess. Says one of the researchers. Makes for a very compelling hypothesis.
And I, who have never studied octopus or imbibed in puffer fish doping, came to the same conclusion within 30 seconds of hearing it.
There you go.
I guess I missed my calling. There was a moment when I wanted to be a marine biologist, but the science and math was sort of beyond me. Very good at history stuff, not very good at the other part. So, yeah. Let's see. What else we got to talk about? How about we talk about the Georgia runoff for a minute?
We could.
Yeah. It's going well. What needed to happen was Republicans needed to really cut into the Democrats' lead in early voting, early in-person and other. And that is not a thing that's happening. Turnout it's going to be close, but it's actually looking pretty good for Democrats right now. New Year's Eve yesterday was the last day of early voting in Georgia, so it all comes down to the 5th, which is Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday the 5th. We will know by Rachel Maddow time. We will probably know whether or not the Senate leaves the control of Mitch McConnell forever. That would be really good.
I mean, it wouldn't.
Warnock and Ossoff are both leading in their races, so
we'll see.
Man, that would be so good. And I don't care if it's zero margin. I don't give a fuck how close it is.
Yeah, 2 votes. 2 votes is enough.
If Georgia gives you a mandate, you have a mandate.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe we have to have Georgia rescue us from fucking Kentucky, but here we are.
Yeah. Was it Bernie that was basically telling Mitch McConnell that I think it was like 14 or 15 of the poorest, 30 or 40 counties in the country are in Kentucky's? Like, shut the fuck up. What's really funny is like Kentuckians are like, yeah, again, like Kentucky, you're fucking stupid. Like, there's no. He won by a lot. Mitch McConnell won by a lot. You know what that means? That means Kentuckians are stupid.
Yeah.
Or they're very smart and they love pain and suffering in themselves and others.
I don't know how to explain it. I would love somebody that is involved in Kentucky Democratic politics to come on and talk to us about that. Because I don't think they're stupid. I think that they've been convinced that their coal jobs are coming back. That's why I think he continues to win. Yes, I think they've become. If you're surrounded by coal infrastructure, if you have 5 generations of coal miners in your family, people who have literally died, doing that job, right? You would be susceptible to arguments that coal can be great again. Your hero worshiping Rocky fan underdog, worldview, I guess would help you be convinced that that's coming back.
So again, like the way I define the word stupid, and I know it's mean, but the way I define stupid is looking at a large amount of evidence that is available in the universe and coming to a conclusion that is incorrect. And that's stupid. Right?
There's more ignorant than stupid, but
okay, that's a better word. It's a better word because fair enough. That's just scary. Yeah, Kentucky's in 44th.
And Donna Van Meter, Laugh Track, makes a good point. Right? There's a lot of money flowing in from McConnell's wife's family who has big interest there. Russian money flowing in. So they're bombarding Kentuckians with messaging that is contrary to their own well-being.
All right.
And we know that pays off.
Okay. I mean, clearly I don't know what's happening. So, my guesses are not worth a whole lot.
Yeah. And the baseline is also that incumbents have an easier time winning re-election than challengers do because the money's on their side. So,
right. Yeah.
It's not a mystery. Yeah. I mean, right. If a person could drop out of high school and make almost $100,000 a year in the coal mines, why would they not want that? And if your family history is that for 4 generations, that's exactly what happened.
Right. So like it's embedded in the culture. Yeah.
It's lottery. It's basically, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's exactly what I think, Ginny. So therefore you're right. I declare you correct.
And
because we agree. All right. So what else we got? Oh, we got this little story from David Brin.
Yeah.
We started out with our laugh of the morning, talking about how I was remembering that time that Corey listed a bunch of his favorite sci-fi authors and forgot to mention the one that is actually on his friends list. David Brin called him out in the thread.
Dives into the comments, being like, "What's up? What?" Like, no.
So David Brin's got a piece up this week about something that happened in 2019. If you have not read it, you should probably buzz through this because Proxima Centauri is one of the closest stars to us. 4.2 light years, I believe, is the distance. That means that the amount of time light takes to travel from there to here is about 4 years. So if something could travel at the speed of light, it could be here in 4 years. And a telescope, yes, I was on the team. A telescope crew in Australia, most of them were from Berkeley. They had time on an Australian telescope in the southern hemisphere. You can't see Proxima Centauri without a telescope because it's a very dim little red dwarf star. Or is it it's a binary or trinary system? I can't remember. It's a multiple star system, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, there's a signal that came on a very narrow beam at a very narrow frequency from there to here for about 2.5 hours during 2019. And they're working to eliminate possible human causes or natural causes, but it's possible it's entirely possible this is a signal, and it was beamed at us. In other words, it wasn't an ionosphere broadcast audio signal or anything. It seemed to be focused directly at us. So that's interesting. It would be incredibly coincidental in my mind for a naturally occurring maser kind of signal to be coincidentally on the beam from Proxima Centauri to us. There seem to be some indications in the story that it may have Dopplered, meaning it may have the signal driving come from a planet that was passing around the star.
Right. I'm just reading this now. So basically, it appears to be monochromatic, so very narrow in the 980 megahertz spectrum, which this is Britain. That to me is the most striking thing. Plus the fact that this narrow spike also had frequency drift, roughly commensurate with a Doppler shift arising from the movement of a planet. So, a planet moving in the arc of its orbit around the planet, even for that 2.5 hours, which they can calculate. So, that's interesting, right?
Yes. And David Brin lays out several possible less esoteric explanations for this, but it's the best candidate we've had since the WOW signal in 1970, whatever that was. So pretty interesting way to wrap up the year with this story. Virginia Ruppert, Mars hums, and my theory is Mars is humming "Rapture" by Blondie, which mentions Mars. That's why I think that's the song that Mars is humming. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to watch Vietnamese Netflix, and I bounced my VPN off of Alpha Proximities. Sorry about the confusion. So it's all Dave Meyer's fault.
God damn it! Not again,
Damn it, Dave. Damn it, Dave. So what were like? Let's just say it. Well, his two things that he mentioned in the possibility that it is an alien signal. One, that they're just sending us a beam that says, "Hi, hello, we're here." There's no message in it because it's monochromatic, right? There's going to be any information in it. Or it could be a maser, which is pushing a solar sail, which would be pushing something directly towards us.
In one of the last shows that we watched, I think it was Cosmos, one of the latest ones, they were talking about building like 3 or 4 gram solar sail things that could still be powerful enough to send signals back, and basically put them in a package, fire a really powerful laser from the ground. And I think they were saying it would only be for 90 minutes, and it would get them up to a very appreciable percentage of the fucking speed of light. Like that, that to me was incredible. Like it's a situation where by the time they're outside the solar system, it basically takes them just a few hours to get out there instead of months, and they're like at 10% of the speed of light or something. It was like an astounding number. And so 90 minutes to do that. The signal lasts 2.5 hours. It's in a very narrow beam. It's pointed right the fuck at us, and it comes maybe 60 years after Proxima Centauri first gets radio signals from us, right? Because you were saying it was what, like 4 light years away?
Yeah, 4.2.
Right. So I mean, they would have got their first signal, mid 50s probably, or maybe early 50s, but like coherent radio signals that kind of show some, anyway, that's about when they would get it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff, man. I like that. Like that was a thing in the 70s that was implausible science fiction. And now we know there are Goldilocks zones around these stars. There is a zone where a planet could develop life because it could hold water, right? And we know how many of those there are. At least we're learning what the ratio of those Goldilocks zone worlds are. And Proxima Centauri has a Goldilocks zone. So it's entirely possible that I think it's Proxima Centauri 5 or M5 is they think could be a planet that holds water and the development potential for life. The problem with that is the planet where it sits is susceptible to what they call gravity capture, meaning one side of it is baked constantly, the other side is frozen. So are they living on the Terminator line? Did that require them to have a faster technological development to survive such a hostile world? It'd be interesting. It's very interesting. Interesting. I am not hoping to be invaded by aliens in 2021.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Okay. So
I want you to think about how that's gone in human history. Anytime a higher technology culture has interacted with a lower technology culture in human history,
it goes super well.
It's not gone well.
That's what I'd say. It's not gone well. Okay. So I have rocket news. I mean, SN9 is supposed to potentially test today. They've already been doing static tank tests.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So this is the full stack. So the SN8 is just the top, right?
Right.
And this is like some fan render, so it's not exact. And the bottom, I don't know, 2/3 or almost is the super heavy with 27 engines on the bottom. Like, it's just stupid big. So that part's fun. I just want to show you the landing because we got some really fucked up news about how this thing might land. And this part just looks cool. Bye. And they just look shiny. So easily amused. This thing's heading back. So here. On the top.
Can you remove the ad thing? Because
yeah. You can't see it up here, but on the top, it's coming down with those grid fins, right? There's going to be a gantry that catches it. It won't have any legs. They're just gonna catch it.
It's like the little trick you do where you hold your hands this far apart and somebody drops a pen and you have to.
Well, but the pen has like stuff sticking out, so you don't have to catch it. It just lands. Right, like the grid fins will support the weight of the whole thing, and so they'll just like catch it, and that way. There's less, damage to the bottom from like spitting up and heat and like recoil from the landing stuff.
Right.
There's no weight at all for the legs. Right. So, something Elon Musk said about it is the best part is no part and the best step is no step, which has been going through my head 24 hours a day. Well, since yesterday. So for 24 hours. But yeah, they're just gonna land. They're so good at landing these things now that it's just come hover in and then just settle down in its cradle, if you just like sat on an armrest or whatever. Anyway, what? So this is not apparently how it'll work, even though this looks cool. So there you go, rockets and stuff.
Nice.
And that was like, hey, we're going to Mars. Bye. And then halfway they get there and the Russians are like, fuck it, we can do whatever we want. Read Red Mars. Oh, this is the in-orbit refueling. Which is cool. Or actual fuel.
Yeah, and the idea of how fast SpaceX is launching things one after the other, after the other, after the other. This is the goal. They're going to put a lot of these up there full of fuel and just orbit and match up with things and refuel and go.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing too. Like they can load that thing completely and totally full to the gills with gear if they don't have to fill it full of fuel to get it up there.
Right.
Anyway, and then it heads off to Mars, and then you make a town.
Moon first. I watched a PBS documentary, a Nova documentary last night about returning to the moon. And I think one of my favorite things about it was lava tubes. And then I remember The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Heinlein, where they lived under the surface of the moon. They lived inside the moon because you're protected from radiation. These lava tubes are miles long and big enough to be bored out and just seal up the ends, and you have human habitation with atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean Mars has lava tubes too.
Yep. Right, but Mars also it's more important on the moon because there's zero atmosphere.
Right, as far as
yeah,
that's true.
What do we got here? Black arrow.
I just saw a rocket size comparison thing, so I was like, these things are always really cool. I just want to put it
rocket size comparison.
Jesus, what the fuck is that beast? Oh, that was Sputnik.
Yeah,
Jesus, they launched a building. All right. Wow.
Yeah, they were way better at lift capacity than we were for a long time.
Right.
I mean, their first human flight was an orbital flight. Ours was basically a fireworks rocket and launched Al Shepard out over the Atlantic.
All right.
It's pretty neat.
Right.
What is that one?
45 meters.
I love these kind of.
So yeah, I think the Ariane 5, the Ariane line, I think that's in Europe, and I think they're in the
French,
I think they're mothballing it because they can't land them. They're too expensive.
Well, it sounds to me like SpaceX has a sellable technology there, huh?
I mean, even the like Boeing and Lockheed and stuff. What the fuck is that? I've never seen that before.
What?
That other shuttle.
That was the Russian one. Okay, and here's the thing. I don't know if you know this or not, but basically we made them spend a whole lot of money on that thing, and we leaked fake technical documents to them, and it didn't work because we made them spend a shit ton of money for nothing. Yeah. See, I keep forgetting how big the Falcon 9 Heavy is.
So big.
Yeah.
That's what she said. The Delta 5 Heavy. They're mothballing that as well because it's now useless. What the fuck is that? The N1L3. Okay, please hold. I've never seen that before. It's like, hey, the N1 rocket was the dumbest idea ever produced by rockets ever. The carrier rocket, super heavy lift vehicle intended to deliver payloads beyond low Earth orbit. Soviet counterpart to Saturn V was intended. I don't think they ever used it.
Right.
Man, it just looks crazy pants.
So that would have been their moon rocket. That's
right.
What they would have tried to use as to heavy lift for the moon.
Wow. All right. Saturn V. The Ares 5. Did that ever fly? I don't think it did. Starship. Biggest, baddest motherfucker in history. Period.
What is that? It's that building in Qatar.
Yeah, that's a dude or a lady. Oh,
Pretty
a little
cool.
tiny person. Oh, look, a little tiny person.
Okay, settle down.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about where we are. So we're 4 years from going to the moon?
I think less. I think in 2 years they're going to throw something at Mars.
I keep going back to that Burt Rutan TED lecture where he said some unfortunate and uncomfortable things about global warming, but that's just his thing, right? He picks on a topic and embeds himself in it for a while. But he said, the thing that he said that I thought was important in that TED lecture was the FAA never built an airplane.
Yep.
That private companies were going to take the ball and run with it and make the infrastructure possible to transport large numbers of people safely to space and back.
Yep.
And here we are. That's exactly where Burt Rutan said we would be.
And I remember like Neil deGrasse Tyson said no one would ever be able to do it without government's help. And he was, checks notes, deeply wrong.
Really wrong. Right. Yep. Pretty good stuff. All right. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm getting hungry. And we have a plan for today to expand our minds and our consciousness and destroy our egos. So we're going to go do all that.
All right.
I'll report back. Tomorrow is my day to get in the Minecraft server and make a bunch of fireworks rockets and things like that. So we're moving towards a Sunday. Church this week is at 11 a.m. That's going to be ongoing from now on. 11 a.m. Eastern will be the time for our church service. This week's going to be something pretty special because we're going to do a thing that we don't think has ever been done in a Minecraft world before. And you might want to be there for that. So Minecraft Java edition, you have to have that. And you have to have me whitelist you. So if you have Minecraft Java and you'd like to just come in for this one Sunday to come check it all out, you need to private message me with your Minecraft user number and username so I can add you to the server list. And we're going to do a pretty cool thing on Sunday. Do you want to talk more about it at all? Do you want to?
I mean, so far we've raised $2,500 for charity art or whatever. I think that's going to be really awesome. It's a proof of concept that I think is going to have legs. And it's just, it's a thing. I had to learn how to like block that area off to see if we could actually do that, which is proof of concept of creating regions or pieces of land that people are going to be able to own, which is awesome. Mostly I'm just excited about it. Like people, I said in the survey, like I really hope that I was going to go in and do some cleaning up and kind of make the rail line so that we could kind of travel all on the rail from the cathedral down to the spot. And so I kind of mapped out where the rail should go, and somebody else threw some rail on there. Somebody else threw like a whole other rail line so that people can go in one direction at a time. The whole thing looks fucking fantastic. Then people started building stuff near the railway and like planting flowers all over the goddamn place. It's like a 2-kilometer ride. They're just planting flowers like crazy. So huge thank you to the whole community, because it just, I took Jimmy from EOS Go down it yesterday morning, and it looks fantastic. It's perfect. The whole thing, it's all awesome. So
Sue says she's debating whether or not she wants to be in game or watch it online. Are we streaming it online? We are absolutely streaming it online.
Most people will still be getting.
And you know what? If I didn't have to be in the server for it, I would probably just watch it because it'll have good frame rate and all that. It'll be fun. Yeah, abandoned carts are still a problem. You can make a collector. A cart collector is pretty easy.
Really?
Yeah, basically make a cactus and a what do you call it? You can make a cactus. You can make a rail car collector. So when it gets to the end of the line, the rail car gets destroyed by the cactus, falls into a dispenser and redispenses.
Cool.
I made those underground. Remember, I made those rail stations underground when that happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, those are good. I think we should just talk only about Minecraft, and then Dave Byers can fuck off at the beginning of the show.
It's way more fun than you think it is.
Well, and I mean,
people pop off their cart on the rail is the problem.
Yeah, like if you pop off, because you want to get off halfway down the rail thing or whatever, then your rail cart just stays there. Like if you don't
tell people not to do that.
Well, yeah,
don't abandon your rail carts. That's just bad. That's bad Minecraft.
It's bad juju.
That's like leaving your cart literally against someone else's car in the sharpening parking lot. The sharpening lot.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's not cool. Don't do that. The powered rails are spaced for empty minecarts.
To make sure the empty minecarts have enough power to get all the way down or whatever.
Yeah, and then they'll hit a cactus. Problem solved.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That works. All right. Love you guys.
All right.
Bigfoot 2020 shirt now obsolete. But we seem to have done okay. We survived 2020.
We made it through.
We got a new president. We maybe have the Senate and the House. It's a pretty good day.
Nah, could be worse.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Ciao.